I'm going to show you over 24 applications for work that I have taken the time to fill out that have all been implemented or otherwise finished in the past 2 months. And I'm picking this particular period because if any of you guys were familiar with the motel saga, it was basically me getting frustrated and trying to seek employment more than usual, because usually I would just let a couple weeks go by to apply for some more stuff. So the frequency of me applying increased as a result of that irritation. So let's start. You see Great American Chicken Corp. You see Subway. You see Buffalo Wild Wings. That's December 11th. Okay, and this is the following day. You see it in the corner. And I have the store receipts, and what do you call it, bleeped out, because even though these people made me very angry with, not either saying anything or basically saying screw you for applying, I'm not going to leave out which specific ones. I'm just going to say where the retailer, what the store was, so you can know there was a diverse coalition of places that I went out and looked for. So this is the day after the three you just saw. It's Trader Joe's, and let's see, that's 7 7-Elevens, all filled out back to back, same day. Now, to this day, 2 months later, I have not once heard from any of them except for the one you're seeing on the screen, the December 18th response that says, thank you for your interest in the store employee position at store, with 7-Eleven. At this time, we have decided to pursue other applicants. We appreciate your interest in 7-Eleven and wish you the best in your continued search. Please continue to visit our careers website regularly for future openings. Now, if this had been the only one I applied to and they said, go back to our website, look for some other ones, I actually might be tempted to do that. But the fact that I applied to 7 of them, and the only one that said anything back basically said thanks but no thanks, I'm not really seeing too much motivation to keep screwing with them in particular. But again, the other ones to this day, almost 2 months later, haven't said anything back. Now, the Trader Joe's that you saw responded at the end of the year. This was my, people like to say New Year's Eve gift. This is my New Year's Eve curse or final L of the year, where Trader Joe's says, thank you for your interest in working at Trader Joe's. We are thrilled you enjoy our stores enough to want to join our crew, and sincerely appreciate the time you took exploring a career as a trader on the culinary seas with us. We wish we could offer interviews and employment to all applicants, but we have many more applications than open positions. We will not be interviewing you at this time, but would like you to consider joining our talent pool to be considered for future openings. So they're saying at the bottom, we know it takes time and energy. Yeah, it's time and energy that you clowns don't appreciate. Okay, so almost 3 weeks later, I applied to, let's say that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Starbucks. All back to back, all within my area. And haven't heard anything back from any of them. Almost, let's see, today is the 11th, so that's, almost 3 weeks later. Okay, we've got Snag-a-Job, server at Seaside Dining Group. You got South Bay Corporation. It's I'm forgetting what the actual group's name is. Doesn't matter, they didn't say anything. Another Subway, and then a dishwasher at TGI Friday. That's 3 days after the Starbucks 7-way application ignoring that took place. Okay, roughly 2 weeks later, February 5th, we have team member at KFC, general manager at Raising Cane, server at Dave & Buster's, dishwasher at Dave & Buster's, some other group that I can't see the name of, and then Del Taco. And what do you know? In 2 days, the second one that you see on the screen, Raising Cane, they responded and they said, "Dear Justin, thank you for your interest in employment with Raising Cane's. We have reviewed your profile and have carefully considered your qualifications for the general manager new restaurant opening. Unfortunately, we will not be moving forward with you for this position. We encourage you to visit our website and reapply as new positions become available." So I am a big believer in the strength of numbers. As I've said before, that's why I approached as many chicks as I did before, just saying screw it. The thing you have to understand about those 30 applications I put in is that the last time I put one in and actually was able to speak to someone was in, I believe it was either October or November. It was 2 places in 1 week, and I was really excited. Oh my God, one of them might hire me. First one confirmed the day after the interview they weren't interested. The second one never said anything back after I went in for the interview. Just completely wasted my time. And when someone, like, I'll put it this way, if I applied to 5 to 10, maybe even 15, I would agree with people that, you know, you need to keep trying. And I will continue to try, because this isn't like the chick thing. This is actually something that, you know, someone needs. But let's count. On that first page I showed you, that was 3. The second page was 8, you know, 7 7-Elevens, 1 Trader Joe. So that's 11. Got 7 Starbucks, so that's 18. And then that one I showed you after that for the January 23rd applications was 4, so that's 22. And then 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So almost 30 that I showed you. And that's not even counting the ones from before the period of after early December. But my point in showing you that stuff is that the more someone applies, the more they're ignored. I think it's very reasonable for them to think this next time I apply is probably not going to be any different. And guys, when I went to an interview with this one company about maybe 4 months ago, I said, look, I need this. And this is how I do in every interview. I stress that how I need this position, that I'm available whenever they want me to come. I mean, I really go out of my way to say this is something. And see, the reason this pisses me off, so much the reason I call them, I insult them, all that stuff, is because these are people who are literally playing with my life. You know, I remember when I made one of the relationship videos, I had said I'm tired of getting blamed for the choices of others. And that's because I was fully content, and I've had someone who's actually tried to fearmonger about these positions. Oh, it's only this much an hour. But as long as it's an honest, decent way of earning funds, I don't really have that much of a problem with it. And the point I'm making is there's such a parallel between a guy who sees dozens of chicks, is completely satisfied with them, and dozens of positions that he has no problem working for if employed. But just like how I can't make some broad want to date with me, I can't make some employer, you know, hire me or interview me, you know, at all. Like, these places, all the ones I showed you, have not reached out to me in any forward type of way. You just saw a bunch of different rejections, one after the other. And I had one person who was stupid enough today to say that the reason people don't hire is because of how you look. And they talked about my hair. And you've seen my hair. It's not long. It's never been long. But the reason that that's a ridiculous comment, and first of all, when I did have this position with one of these food companies, they told me to cut my beard solely because they wanted to make sure it didn't get into food. That was it. You know, so stuff on the top has never bothered anyone other than these same little stupid people. But the reason what they said was so dumb is because, and most people are aware of this, when you apply on one of these job websites, you fill out information, and I have not seen a single one of them that's asked to see a picture. So when they look at that resume that you send them or that application that you send them, which is pictureless. How in the hell can your hair be a factor in any of those decisions they make to not hire you? In those 20 plus, almost 30 applications you saw me fill out and have receipts of in my email, not a single time did they ask for a picture of me or anything. It was always, they look at it, they say, I'm good, and then they either don't respond or they say, thanks, but no thanks formally. But those are the kind of little things people tell themselves to feel better about crappy scenarios like this. I just want to also throw in here that unlike the chick thing, I've been very receptive to a lot of the advice that's been given, and usually it's people saying, hey, try here, try there. Part of the reason for this because a lot of times they'll mention somewhere I've never heard of before or somewhere that I might not have thought to attempt applying to. But there's also been some ridiculous stuff said as well, such as a person who told me to lie on the application. Because when I do them, I try to be honest, try to, state how minimal I've had. And, that's another one of those short-sighted things that people come up with, because let's say I lie on there and I say I worked at some place for 2 years, right? Just some random place. And then they go and look after I get hired or we're doing the interview and they find that that's not true. That place has no recollection of me. I could get fired on the spot and they would have every reason to get rid of me. But those are the, thinking, that's why I said a lot of people have foresight, because only someone who can't look into how all of this plays out based off of the way it's been set up would recommend something as ridiculous as that. I could easily get on one of these applications right now and say, I worked at Target for 10 years. But if they call up the Target I told them that I allegedly worked at and find that that's a bunch of nonsense, I'm screwed. And that's why I have such a difficult time with, I guess, taking the advice of a lot of these people, because they're just saying nonsense. And again, these are the types of things that come from people who just are not thinking forward. That's why they'll look at someone like myself who has applied to all these different positions, and I'll get blamed over the damn employers who don't say anything. And it's just, that's what I meant when I said I'm tired of getting blamed for the choices of others. Like, I can put the application in the employer's hand. I can go to the interview. I can smile. I can state all the stuff I'm willing to do for that person's business. But if they say no, what am I supposed to hold a gun to their head and demand they change their mind? Like this, it's dumb. This is stupid. But so yeah, I'm in my own little private hell with these places, not saying anything back. It's just frustrating.